to take a break from just our regular beat the left videos and talk a little bit about getting along with them in everyday life, because face it, we do have to. And let's face it, we do have, co-workers, friends, relatives, family members, who are on the left and just won't get it. So, yes, I'm very strongly standing against the left, but I said it's a matter of having to get along in everyday life, and we can't always agree with everyone. So here's some principles, tips for getting along in most situations. I would say, first of all, do not let politics permeate every second of your life. I think a lot of the left does, but as conservatives, we need to be the grown-ups in the room and not allow politics to permeate every second of our life. Here on YouTube, I am using my free speech to stand up against the left and what they stand for and all the bad things and all the people they're dragging down and starvations, eliminating people, and it's hard to stand up against them for most, but I'm here standing up against them. Like I said, but off camera, when I'm not fighting the left, in everyday life, I'd say, don't go out looking for a fight. Just the don't ask, don't tell plan. Let's go with that. Because, everything is not about politics, and it shouldn't be about politics. Sometimes you just mind your own business, you buy a product, they check you out, customer service, you work with somebody, you get along. You just don't talk about politics because you don't need to do your job. Like I said, there's some people at my office that I suspect they're on the left, but we don't talk about politics, so we get along. We get along okay. And same with family members. That's your main defense. Just don't bring it up necessarily. Unless there's a good reason. If there's a good reason to talk about it. But for the most part, what good is it going to do? Even trying to win a point over somebody, saying, abortion's wrong, and they won't listen to you, don't beat the dead horse. Just let it go. Because, you live your life, they live theirs, and we can't convince them. Trying to convince people against their will, they'll be of the same opinion still, and sometimes, they'll just look at facts and they just won't listen. And there's nothing you can do about it. So you agree to disagree. That's the point. So first of all, don't make your whole life about politics, and just don't ask, don't tell, and just drop it. Don't bring it up if you don't have to. So, but of course, it is very important that you do things like me. You get on here and try to educate people to preach against the left. Educate them and say how bad they are, because this is the field of battle. What we need is debates, more public debates. But the left couldn't win public debates because they're not based on facts. So I doubt they'll try. But we need to make stands. Just getting along with people does not negate your responsibility for making a stand for freedom and for God. It doesn't negate that. Now, the other problem we have is there will probably be in your lifetime some people you love who insist on being on the left. I probably had crushes on guys that were on the left, and not that we didn't talk about politics. Maybe your kids grow up and start acting like a leftist, and then that, I'm sure, frustrates parents quite a bit. And I said people and love basically turn to the left, and I said, you can try to convince them if you want, but it may not happen. The bottom line is be tolerant, be kind, just don't discuss the matter. Just get along. You can still care about your family and still be on the opposite sides of the political scale. But you cannot give up your convictions. You can say you love them, but you're not giving up your convictions. You're not. And the sad thing is that bottom line is push came to shove. If there was a civil war and it split left versus right, you have to have the character to be able to go with your convictions on the battlefield in your fight, shooting opposite of the person you love. That is character. That's what you have to do. And character is part of being a good person. Your convictions. Being wishy-washy, no good. And now, as it's been shown, there's hope that a lot of leftists will change their ways. They say lots of times young people turn to the right when they get older because they learn better. They know better by then. So there's definitely hope. And then there's also, these days, there's lots of conservatives are working hard to educate people that the left is communism and wants to, destroy everybody and harm everybody, and that the word is getting out. Look at the walkaway movement. The walkaway movement was phenomenal. I'm sure it's going to continue to go on. So that's phenomenal. People are waking up. And then, of course, the terrible left, people are seeing the terrible left treats them like trash, and the terrible left grabs them and tries to put them in concentration camps, and the terrible left is taking away all their freedoms. And so there's a lot. The left doesn't do themselves any favor. They expose themselves as horrific people. So that really helps decimate their ranks and bring them over to the right. Definitely helps. But finally, for those who just won't listen, conservatives, we need to keep a light burning in the window for the prodigal son or daughter. That's what they say when parents have children that are wayward. I mean, they still love them, but the kids have gone bad. And the parents still love them, and they just leave a light for them in the window because they're hoping and praying they'll come back and get their life switched around. And ultimately, that's how we have to get along with the left. Don't be overly combative out in public everyday life or with your family. And just, work hard to preach what's right and the convictions and the truth. And you just have to leave the light in the window for them. So we hope that something will get through. Some of their experiences will show them, hey, the left is not a good place to be. Better get away from them. So that's how we should handle them on a day-to-day life, and your family members, loved ones who are on the left. Get along. Don't fight them all the time, because family is important. And as Christians, we're responsible to take care of our family. Even if they're a very nasty leftist, we're responsible for them, and we got to try to help them change if we can. But in the end, we have to agree to disagree, and just let them be. So, alrighty, guys. Hope this is helpful to you in your daily life, getting along with the left when they're co-workers and family members, and just trust the Lord and try to seek peace and pursue it when possible. All right, let freedom ring.